What? I'm playing It Takes Two. Fuck it. I can't play the game on my own. Hi guys, SmartPiano3 here. I apologize if my voice sounds a bit sore here. But fuck it, what can you do? But hey, we're not here to talk about how not sexy my voice sounds at the moment. We're here to talk about March of 2022 in gaming. Now, I really want to do a most anticipated games of 2022 list because there are so many games coming out this year. Making any most anticipated games of any year list is always tricky because every time there's always an E3 press conference or like a Sony State of Play or a Nintendo Direct where there's like games just announced out of nowhere. And they're coming in the upcoming months in the same year. I mean, for instance, nobody put Metroid Dread in their most anticipated games of 2021 list at the beginning of 2021. You know why? Because it was never announced until Nintendo at E3 2021. So yeah, that's why I feel like, you know, making a most anticipated games list would be just like impossible for me to do, at least without thinking of the fact that there could be some game announcements like just out of nowhere. So I figured the best thing for me to do would be to, you know, talk about the games in a certain month that I'm excited about, or at least I want to talk about, because so far this year, 2022 in gaming, yeah, pretty good year for gaming so far, and I really want to share my thoughts with you guys on the games that's coming out in March. Alright, so let's begin, shall we? Starting off unexciting, unfortunately, is Babylon's Fall. Alright, I'm gonna make this very clear with you guys. I love Platinum Games. They're like the most over-the-top video game company working today next to Grasshopper. I love nearly everything they work on, from Metal Gear Rise of Vengeance to Bayonetta to Astral Chain and Nier Automata. But I'm gonna be honest with you, this is like the most generic looter shooter I've ever seen since Ghost Recon Breakpoint or Anthem. This game looks like it came out generations late. It looks barely above the PS3 era. So I'm gonna be honest with you, it may be good, who knows? But no, honestly, I'm not really excited for this one because it looks so generic as hell. It kind of reminds me of Godfall. Remember that? It was that PS5 launch title, Godfall. It kind of looks like that, except it's just about generic. And Square Enix is publishing it, so it could be just like that Avengers game that came out in 2020. So I'm not really too excited for that one. Maybe it's good, but I'm not excited for that one. Alright, next up, something I'm actually looking forward to, believe it or not, Gran Turismo 7. Now, I've always loved the Gran Turismo series, as well as the Forza series. People have always said that those games are just like nothing but car porn. But you know what? It's a good kind of car porn for me. Really, because I just love those games for this, you know, sleek car styles, and the animations, the environment. Everything about those games just makes it feel lively to me. Now, I'm not saying every game in the Gran Turismo series is great. The 6 was okay. Sport, I don't know, it's kind of lacking. It was nowhere near on the same level of quality as Gran Turismo 3, 4, and 5. But this one looks like the best Gran Turismo since Gran Turismo 5. So I'm hoping this one is a lot better because I love the Gran Turismo series. This one, nothing but good car racing, mindless fun. That's all I care about. That's what I'm hoping for this game. Next was actually my most anticipated game, not just March, but the entire year. Triangle Strategy. The reason why this is my most anticipated game of the year is because I love Octopath Traveler. Octopath Traveler so far might be my favorite Switch game. I just love it. It reminds me so much of Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger, the best games ever released on Super Nintendo. I love that game so much, and I'm so glad that the makers of that game are doing another game, and this one doing a tactical role-playing game, and this one is just reminiscent of Fire Emblem and Final Fantasy Tactics. I'm so excited for this one. I hope this one is just as great as Octopath Traveler. I'm so excited for this one. Next is port number 36, I believe, of Grand Theft Auto 5. Alright, look. Grand Theft Auto 5 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's in my top 10 favorites of all time. I love that game so much, but I do not need Rockstar to constantly remind me that it's one of my favorite games of all time. So I don't really care about it. Really, I don't. So thankfully, they're making GTA 6, officially making GTA 6. So that's good at least. Hopefully this will be the last GTA 5 port we'll ever get. Hopefully. Just hopefully. Next one is Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. Now when I first saw the trailer to it, I was like, alright, this looks okay at best. But then the last trailer that came out a few weeks ago, I'm officially excited for this one. I'm guessing this won't be like, you know, just like a sort of a time waster while we wait for Final Fantasy 16. Just like how Final Fantasy Type 0 was released as a fun little time waster while we wait for Final Fantasy 15. I'm hoping this game would be just like a great fun hack and slash Final Fantasy game. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I am a huge fan of the Final Fantasy series. Final Fantasy 6, my favorite Super Nintendo game. Final Fantasy 9, my favorite game of all time. Final Fantasy 10, best score in the entire series. And Final Fantasy 7 Remake, my favorite PS4 title. And what really got me excited for this one is the use of Frank Sinatra for some reason. I don't know why they did it, but hey, I'm glad because, you know, Frank Sinatra is one of my favorite singers of all time. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I hope this game is great. I hope this is a great entry in the Final Fantasy series, or at least a decent one at best. All right, 3 games coming out in March 25th. First one, Ghostwire Tokyo. Finally, we got a release date for this game because it was supposed to come out, I believe it was supposed to come out in 2020, but that got delayed in 2021. But now it's officially coming out in 2022. And I'm excited for this one because it's from the makers of the Evil Within games, and I think those are really underrated survival horror games. This one has horror elements, but it's not really a survival horror game, but it has really unique combat being shown here. And what's really cool is the guy who did the combat for Doom 2016 is also working on the combat for this game. So yeah, that's enough to get me so excited for this game. I cannot wait to buy this game, and I hope this is a great PS5 exclusive because there are a lot of great PS5 exclusives so far. And this year, looking hella crazy for PS5 exclusives. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Ghostwire Tokyo. Next one, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Oh my god, a full-fledged 3D Kirby game. I am so excited for this one. We were supposed to get a 3D Kirby game on the GameCube, but that got scrapped in favor of Kirby Air Ride for some reason. I don't know. But anyways, I love the Kirby series so much. And Kirby Return to Dreamland so far is my favorite Kirby game. I'm hoping this one is on the same level of quality as Kirby Return to Dreamland and Kirby 64 and Kirby Superstar. It looks really a really unique take on the Kirby formula. Not just 3D, but also the mouthful attack that Kirby has. I love the creativity behind the Kirby games. That's what I love about Kirby, is its creativity. And I hope this one is one of Kirby's best. I hope this one does it. Alright, next one is Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Okay, let me be honest with you, with the Borderlands series, I'm kind of mixed on the Borderlands series. Okay, Borderlands 1, it was decent at best. Borderlands 2, hands down the best looter shooter of all time. Although considering the amount of looter shooters we've been getting after Borderlands 2, it's not really saying much. And Borderlands 3, I love Borderlands 3. I don't understand the hate for Borderlands 3. I thought it was a really fun entry in the series. And then Borderlands, the free sequel, came out. It's like Kingdom Hearts Recoded. It pretty much had no reason to exist, really. Just to cash in on the Borderlands series. I'm hoping this one will be a... Because so far the trailer, it looks like crazy fun. It looks like it's a crazy fun time. And Tiny Tina is one of my favorite Borderlands characters. So I'm hoping that maybe this one will be a great entry in the Borderlands series and not just a cheap cash grab like the pre-sequel game was. So I'm just hoping that this will be like great fun looter RPG. That's what I'm hoping this will be, and a nice entry in the series. That's what I'm hoping for this game to be. And last game I want to talk about is Weird West. And this game was directed by Rafael Colantonio, I think that's his name. He's the guy behind Prey and Dishonored. And he's got his own company now known as Wolf-Eye Studios. And this is their first game. Apparently this is a company that he owns now. And I'm really excited to see where he goes with this one. It's a RPG that takes place in the West. It's sort of like a mix between Disco Elysium and Red Dead Redemption. So I'm really interested to see how this game turns out, especially coming from that guy. I think is really underrated in the gaming industry. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Weird West. I hope that will be a great game. So anyway, guys, those are the games I'm looking forward to in March, or the games that I feel like deserve talk about that are upcoming in March. And I want to know, what games are you looking forward to in March 2022? Leave down in the comments below and let me know. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Super Mark